Hello, in this CSS crash course video we're going to be looking at rounded corners. So you can create essentially a square or a rectangle using height, width and sort of color properties to actually be able to see it, but it has just squared off corners. But you might want rounded corners. That does look pretty cool, and that's very popular for stuff like buttons. So to do rounded corners, really simple. First of all, what you want to do is just get rid of any body code that we've got for now. Just put a div in here, and as usual you can apply this code to whatever sort of element you want, whether it's based on a class, an ID, just a particular element type. We're just going to assign an ID of cornered to this, cornered. So I'm just going to save that. If we go to our index.css, let's zoom in a bit. Yeah, that's fine. So what I'm going to do is actually remove all of this code, and in here I'm going to put hash cornered. I'm going to put a height of 512 pixels. These are just arbitrary numbers to actually just visualize what we're doing, which is rounded corners, but you can design it however you want. I'm going to put a margin. Before I put a margin, I'll show you why I'm going to put a margin. So put background dash color as red, save that, and if I refresh my web page, I'll get this sort of red box. So what I want to do is just move this away from basically this side and the top side as well a little bit. So what I'm going to do is just do margin colon 50 pixels, save that, refresh. As you can see, it has now moved away. This was the intended result. So now to actually do a border, a rounded corner, it's something called a border radius. You do border, zoom in, border dash radius colon, and you put a pixel value. You put some sort of value here. The greater the value, the more rounded the corner is, and I'll recommend experimenting with this. See how far you can take it, see how low you can go. That's a great way of learning. So if I save that, refresh, we now have rounded corners. Let me just briefly show you the difference between, let's say, 550 and 100. Save that, refresh. As you can see, this is ever so slightly rounded now, and let's just say do 100. This is extremely rounded. If I were to do 150, as you can see, it's even more rounded. And this is how you can actually draw a circle like this as well. I believe it's half the value of the width and the height. So yeah, there you go. That's the way you would do a circle. You would just do half the value of the width and the height. It's obviously slightly different if you don't have a square, and try putting a rectangle there, see what happens. Still got a bit more for this video to go. So what I'm going to do is comment this out, because what this does is targets all four corners. You may only want to target one particular corner, and to target that corner you would do something like border dash radius colon. The first value, you can put 4 different values. If you put 4 different values, the first value targets the top left corner, you put a space. The second value targets the top right corner, the third value targets the bottom right corner, and the fourth value targets the bottom left corner. So basically you go from top left clockwise all the way back to bottom left. So 80 pixels, save that, refresh. As you can see, the bottom left, which was 80, is a lot rounder, and it's slightly getting rounder every single time. So that's another way of doing border radius or rounded corners, but there is actually another way of doing rounded corners. You can do border dash radius, and what you can do is specify just 2 values. So if I specify 40 pixels and 256 pixels, what this does, the first value targets the top left and the bottom right corners, aka just opposite corners, and then the second value targets the bottom left and the top right corner. So if we save that, what will happen is these two corners won't be very rounded. They'll probably be, it'll be the same as this. So this particular corner won't change. This corner will become like this one, and these two will become very rounded. So if we refresh, as you can see, that actually looks quite cool. It almost looks the way a lemon looks if you look at it from almost like a bird's eye view. Oops, sorry about that. So in here, there's one final way that I want to show you how to do a border radius, aka a rounded corner. If I just comment this out, for this you just do border dash bottom dash left dash radius colon, specify a value 90 pixels. I think you can see what this is going to do. This is just going to target the bottom left corner. As you can see, all the other corners are squared off, and this way it allows you to target just one particular corner. You might just want to target one particular corner at a time. This is how you do it. So if you want to do border dash top dash right dash left, and then you can do border dash bottom dash right dash radius as well. But I'll actually leave that to you to experiment with it, check it out, see how it works. For more information, feel free. W3 School's website is always the best one to check out for stuff like this. If you have any questions, feel free to post them on my education platform, sonarlearning.co.uk. There'll be a link with this video for that, plus there will be a link to the GitHub source code page, which will have the source code from every video in this crash course series. If you have any questions, like I said, feel free to ask. And as usual, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.